Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.
And a beautiful morning it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the hottest spot in town. This is Sunshine's Corner. I want to welcome you in because you know that I tell you every single day, now this is Black History Month, but as a people, we celebrate Black History every single day. And we've got, oh my God, I'm so excited about this show today. We have two and a half extraordinary guests. I mean, that's going to be with us because we're talking about living Black history, finding out Black history that's right here in Pensacola. And we've got the best storyteller that I have ever met. I'm talking about Reshard. But mostly what I am so excited about today, we have right here sitting next to you, I mean, Mrs. Wooten. She is a beautiful 100 years young, and I'm telling you, she's as quick as this. I was listening to you all talk. It was absolutely amazing to hear that conversation. And I want to say to everybody, I want you to sit back because you're going to learn something today. You're going to learn some things that's absolutely beneficial to you because history is something that we should not shun. I mean, something that should put a smile on your face. When you were here before, I kept telling you, oh God, I'm learning something every day. Let me say my usual spiel. Let me apologize to our viewers. That construction you hear in the back, we are going through some growing pains, okay? When you're growing and you get that strength and you have to grow, you have these pains, and that's what we're experiencing now. Because to God be all the glory, when I have to call on him, Jesus, thank you, Lord, we're going to be out of this hole here in a minute so that you won't have to hear that at all. And Robin, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, and Mrs. Wooten, thank you for being here with us. Isn't she beautiful, guys? Isn't she just beautiful? I just can't to do all of that. Well, Robin, I know that you've been working with the throat. I'm working with my girl. How you want to start this off? We're talking about living Pensacola, the history that's right here.
So first, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me back. And
you'll be back again.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I, as a researcher, as a historian, mostly of local history, and as a storyteller, I pull from other people, from other resources.
Right.
And I couldn't do this work, I shan't do this work
right.
without people who have had that lived experience.
Yes.
And so to have Mrs. Wooten here is not only a blessing, I count it all joy.
Amen.
To do that. And you and I, when I was here the last time, we started that conversation out because I told her some things that she didn't know about her, or revealed some things that she was unaware of about her uncle and the universal impact that he had in entertainment.
Exactly.
And she revealed 10 times more things to me. And that's what, when we talk with the people in our community, when we talk with our elders, when we talk with our professionals, like Ms. Wooten, then we learn so much.
Don't we?
We have to be open to that exchange.
I tell you.
So to me, it brings me just so much joy to have her sitting here
at
you both. 100 years young.
Exactly.
And then to see if I can get some of the water she's drinking.
I want a cup though. Don't get them here a little bit. Yeah. I want to sip every day, Miss Wooten, so I can look like you. And I mean, I've been sitting here, although I've been listening to the conversation, right? Sharp as ever. I got to say what her daughter was saying. Her daughter told me how she had balances like her own checkbook. She does all this herself. I mean, you see, that's what I'm talking about. She is what I want. You know what I'm saying? I pray to God that I can live and be like this when I turn 100 years young.
Yeah. One of my friends, April, says, I think I'm going to quote her right. We talked a couple of years ago about living long and growing.
Right.
And April says, I want to age well.
Right.
I want to age well. And I think that is what Ms. Wooten, we're sitting here talking about her.
And we're like we don't see her. There she is right there, okay?
In order to,
and there she is.
She is age well. And in terms of our local history, she has added so much. She has this dual history in terms of the Naval Air Station base, with her family being one of those early settlers of Warrenton. And then again, as I mentioned, her on her father's side.
Yes.
On her father's side, then she has this amazing national impact. And so it's this sort of dual. And she's made her in education. She's made her own way as a teacher for how many years, Mrs. Wooten?
For 35 years.
Wow.
35 years.
Yeah. But that's in the classroom.
Of course.
Because I would
She's
say
still
that
teaching now.
yes.
She's still teaching now. And the beauty of it is, this is what, I'm very transparent when we talk about our history. When we talk about the things that we experience, the things that we are American history. That when you know, I want for our younger generation to just grasp onto love like this, to get that wisdom that she has that only she can share. I mean, that will teach you who you are. And I got to take a step further, okay? You're going to say this, like, the classroom, when we used to go to school, and if you miss that bell, when that bell ring and you come in that class, the teacher gonna get you when you come in late, right? And
Ms. Wooten give you that look. Is that right?
Miss Wooten need to give some back students that look. There's a student who just walked into class late.
All right, I guess I'll take all of that. But I'll remind you of what I do for a living. Okay? And you could be next.
Oh goodness.
He gonna get Robin.
Wait a minute. We say that's good TV.
That's good TV, right? That's good TV, baby. But Mr. David Hawkins, he has now, with him, I have had conversations with him, even things he had told me about even up in Alabama. The things that he's talked about up that, some people think, well, you from Alabama. Oh, no, that's history. And some of the things that he has shared with me that's doing his growing up, the things that he has learned, is great to share to our viewers so we can learn it all. And I often tell this show is not, Black history is not just for Black people. Black history is for everybody. Because we are history, and yet living it every day. And thank you, David, for coming to share with us.
Thank you all so much for the invite. First and foremost, I have to apologize to you. And please, as I sit next to this beautiful lady, good morning to you. And I certainly value your time, and I apologize to you.
Ain't it beautiful?
However, my time is not my own, unfortunately, in the business that I'm in. But growing up in Evergreen, Alabama, which is my home, I used to come here during the summers. I had an elderly uncle that lived here. So I would stay with him during the summers and the holidays. So I got to see both sides.
Right.
And I escaped a lot of farm work, but I didn't escape it all, unfortunately. But it taught me the value of hard work. It taught me the value of having value of integrity and honesty and trying to do the right thing. And when I came here, there was a whole new world for me in Pensacola. I lived right here on Jackson and DeVilla Street.
Okay.
So I got to ride my bicycle all up and down DeVilla Street, and I got lessons, good lessons from people like J.P. Newton, Mr. Abraham Pierce, Mr. Blue Dot. There were just so many more. WBOP radio was right upstairs. And those days, the billiards pool hall, even the pool hall, we'd ride by there. And he was funny.
Doc Green.
Doc was funny. But there's just so many of those memories that radiate when you stop and think about what's your quilt? What's your fabric?
Exactly.
What are you made up of? And who helped make you and who helped shape you?
That's right.
So that's my quilt, and I'm very proud of it.
And you bring that to the table, and that's a good thing. But for this lady that's in the middle, the most beautiful thing in the world.
Oh, my.
I mean, Robert, I know you have some things that you want to start off to share with us so we can get Miss Wooten to tell it back.
There you go.
Well, I think David brings in a good point. So Miss Wooten was born in 1926.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, let's just take that in for a
Okay,
second.
no. What I'm going to say, rest my father's soul, was born in 1926.
And so can you tell us what you saw in the neighborhood around here? David just talked about riding his bike in the neighborhood. What you remember about this neighborhood?
Yes, along here was a lot of businesses. We even had pharmacies and pool halls. It was in my grandfather had a tailor shop that was it was on the villa between Belmont and LaRue.
Okay.
And it was restaurants. So it was really, we called it the blocks. And I was born in a block from here, at 620 West Belmont Street.
Wow. On
Yes.
the blocks. Isn't that something?
The Elks Club, and it's still there, where it was when I was growing up.
So it's in the original place.
It's in the second place. So the original place was where Bimbo Funeral Home was. We have one picture, and then when the was it the Knights of Pythias, when they moved, they had some financial difficulties, and then they moved to where they are. But Miss Wooten, they are celebrating 100 years next year.
Really?
Yeah, the Elks are celebrating 100 years next year. And so Miss Wooten predates them, and she can tell them something.
Unbelievable.
I remember the Elks, and I didn't remember that part.
I mean, but when I sit here and I look at her when she and it's like, let me come down the street, and she was going boom, boom, boom. Well, that is history, the things that are connected.
And that's what I mean. So she introduced me to her, the tailor shop. And so when I went to look in the records at the documents, I could see it on the insurance map in the back of what we know as the Bunny Club. So it was in the back, and it had a hat number, which meant that it was in the back of something. And so just as she was saying, it was on Belmont, in between Belmont and, on DeVillers. You said it faced DeVillers?
Yes.
It faced DeVillers between Belmont and LaRue Street, so it was a half address.
Okay.
So it was like in the back of, and so you can see it in the history books, but to see something in this two-dimensional space is one thing. But when you have someone who has that lived experience, who knows
Nothing takes the place.
who knew what,
Exactly.
And the property that they still have today was bought back even before that, even in the early 1900s. And so then her family continued to buy more property. And that's another legacy that they have here.
Absolutely.
In the
I mean, it's
neighborhood.
just absolutely beautiful, the thing that you learn. And when it comes back to even with David, what he's holding on to now is also a legacy. And I appreciate the fact that he has not taken away from what I've seen since I've been here and the history that I've seen of Joe Marston's Son Funeral Home. That visual is still the same in the front. It is still the same. And I think that holds lots and lots of history value, and it's still going on today just as it was all those years ago for a black-owned business. Right here, I think we should call this the Black Wall Street.
Well, it has been called that.
Yes, it was. It was.
Oh, really?
It has been called that, yeah. And I think so. David says I'm going to cost him money with this.
Here we go.
So he says, and they have always said that the funeral home started in 1913, but we have documented evidence that Richard Morris, his brother, David Morris, had already been in the funeral home business. We have documented evidence because of the church of these two ladies, Mount Zion Baptist Church. They did a book in 1911, and in that book, Richard Morris says, "I have now acquired the funeral home and business of Wade Harvey, who was Kareem Jones's father," and that was in 1910.
But he still says 1913. I got you.
Everything
I
says
gotta go with
1913.
Miss Led. You're not gonna make me spare Miss Led tomorrow. She told me, made me promise. She said, "Now, David, here's the thing. You gonna protect my legacy at all costs." And so much so that the employees used to, where the hearse parks on the front, employees used to park in the hole. We call that the hole. They would park in there. And I had a conversation with him one day. I told him, I said, excuse me, have you ever seen a Joe Morris picture? You ever seen a fan of an old Joe Morris funeral home? How it looks? I said, you don't ever want to disturb that look.
Exactly.
It should be that way. You can't park there.
That's right.
They go, huh? I said, it's called branding.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Marketing 101, it's called branding. You don't ever want to disturb that.
That's right.
And that's part of that legacy that we were talking about. But now, she hit on something that was a nerve for me when she said, drugstore, Mr. Jones and Jones Pharmacy. That was back in the day, too.
Yes, but his wasn't along here.
It's right
It was at LaRue and Davila.
And Davila, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Where
But this
those
was,
townhouses now stand, right there in Jackson.
That's right. But this pharmacy was Porkenhorn.
I live across the street.
It was right
on Jackson
along
Street.
here.
Yes, ma'am. So
But it's on Jackson. It was ended up on Jackson Street.
Right.
But
You
it was
going-
right
you
here
predate
on
me.
Belmont.
A lot.
that she's right. There was a
Look how she's correcting you guys.
I love
I
it.
tell you that lived experience. There was a row of from the maps. It looked like there was a row of business in James Polkenhorn, and there were a few other physicians and pharmacists in there. And so we know Dr. Sunday
Right.
was across the street, and Dr. Jefferson, Samuel Jefferson, had his dentistry across the street. And she's right. And then when do you remember the year? It seems like they ran into the world ran into financial difficulty. And so he moved his pharmacy to his home,
Right.
which is, and the family still owns that home
Right.
today.
And I lived directly across the street from there. And
family
interestingly
home.
enough, when I was about 7 or 8 years old, I almost got run over trying to cross the street because he also had a little store in there. And I would cheat to get my whatever quarter or whatever I had. I tried to run across the street to go to the store.
Excuse me, hold on. Did you bring your paddle, Miss?
I almost got hit by a car.
He just confessed.
Get that
it.
paddle.
So I remember the Porkenhorn very, very well in the store.
What do you remember about Dr. Polkenhorn?
Well, I don't remember too much about him, but I remember that, he did have this pharmacy right, I think it faced the Belmont Street.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, as I listen and I see how, and it's not called doing anything, oh no, it was like this or it's like that. The message that we're trying to convey today, and I think that we're going to have to do this even more so, is to share our history, which is so rich, and with legacies as Ms. Wooten herself, that she can sit here and correct you when you got the day wrong. I mean,
And I'm loving it because,
Me too.
she's dating me, and I'm going, as a kid, I was so proud of the fact that, hey, I was part of the Belmont and Davila Street, the Blocks legacy, and growing up, we used to swipe hamburgers from J.P. Newton, called the Sugar Bowl, and then it was called the Bunny Club. You tried to get your little fake ID to get in. And Mr. Pierce at that time owned half of Joe Morris Funeral Home and the Bunny Club, and the 506 Club. And so we always wanted to go to see the shows, this, that, and the other, and I would come in and clean up the funeral home and cut grass in North Hill. So Mr. Pierce would never pay me. Mr. Morris always paid me, but Mr. Pierce wouldn't. So I made a deal with him. I said, me and my partner, we want to go watch these shows. We see Sam Cooke, you got Otis Reddy, you got some of everybody coming here, James Brown.
they came here?
Yes.
506 Club. Yeah, and the thing of it was that he finally acquiesced. He said, hey, look, you and your little partner, you got first show, 7:30. Y'all can come to that first show. Go around the corner and see Miss Thornton. You know Miss Thornton? I said, yes, sir, I date her daughter. Well, you go around there and tell Miss Thornton. I said, let you in. Y'all sit at the bottom of that stage, and you can watch that show, that first show. Then you get up and you get out of there. And so, that's why I'm listening to her, and I'm enjoying this so much because she tell you about all of that before then.
Well, I wanna know, Ms.
Exactly.
Wooten.
I'll tell you what we're going to do before we go into another conversation. We got to go take a break, but we're going to come back with more. I want you to tell everybody, go refill your coffee, get it reheated. Come back and sit there, get your pen and write these things down because this is history that we're living today, that we're sharing, so that we can make sure that we keep, as he would say, hope alive right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month, During Sonshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
At FPL, we plan for storm season all year long. We're strengthening poles to better withstand severe weather. We're clearing lines to improve resiliency, and we're constantly training teams to act at a moment's notice. Because we're always working, always preparing. So when storms do hit, you can count on us. FPL, working for you every single day.
Get a fresh cut and a fresh start at AHW Barber Academy. We focus on growth. Join us at 3822 North 9th Avenue, Pensacola, for a top-notch $6 haircut while supporting aspiring barbers. Our students learn in a real-world setting, guided by experienced professionals to become licensed barbers. Need a cut or a new career? Visit AHW Barber Academy or call 850-692-9298.
I'm Emily Echeverria, Marketing Communications Director for Council on Aging of West Florida and the host of Coming of Age. Watch our show to find out what we're doing for our seniors and their families, and hear from area experts and local business owners about their programs and services. Want to help? Find out how you can work with us to bring a better future to our seniors. Watch Coming of Age, 3:30 p.m. Wednesdays, only on Blab TV.
And welcome back to this edition of Sunshine's Corner. We are talking about Black history because, you know, February is Black History Month and we get 28 days, but we have 365 plus 66 if it's a leap year. So today we are going to talk about some things that's here that I'm really learning. If you notice, I'm being rather quiet because when I hear things that I haven't heard, I'm so intrigued, I just listen. If I tell you to take over, I just take over because you can do it, okay? But I see you got something right there. Well, he see that name on there, okay?
Oh, I saw it. And I know that she showed it to you. She showed it to me.
Well, he saw that in Morris, right?
I saw the Morris Jr.
I'm just saying I brought
1910.
I brought receipts. That's all I'm saying, David, is I brought receipts.
1910.
You know, legacy and history can
Coexist.
coexist. Yes,
Yeah, I agree with that.
They can go. And I think the beautiful thing about that, because we do, even as historians, as researchers, we get it wrong sometimes, and we want to correct that,
Exactly.
that record. And so I think, you know, as part of this of our humanity, it's all right to be corrected too.
Well, she asked me, and she brought that to my attention. What are you going to do about it? I said, what am I going to do about it? I ain't going to do nothing about it. I'm going to let Ms. Bars win. I'll tell the story. And make sure everybody understands. We've been here prior to 1913.
That's right.
I got you.
Years.
But you know what? I want to ask Ms. Wooten this. I mean, with her, and you have lived this legacy right here, from a childhood to now. What is it that you see that has changed so much in your span that I think that we should try to hold on to for our younger generation, that I think they're losing, they're missing it? I mean, what would you tell me that you learned, I mean, that you see now that's missing from when it was when you grew up?
Well, mostly the neighborhoods. We don't seem to have love.
Amen.
And when I was growing up, our neighborhoods were just like a family.
Amen.
We knew all the people and in the neighborhood, and it wasn't just our block.
That's right.
But it expanded all the section.
That's right.
And we had love for one another, but it seems like all of that has gone.
Amen. Because Miss Clement could whip me, and when I went home and Mama found out Miss Clement whipped me, I got another whipping.
Exactly.
At home, because Mama didn't ask Miss Clement why she whipped me. But she knew Miss Clement was looking out for me. Miss Clement was our neighbor down the road down there in Dutch Bend. Now, Miss Clement will whip you, but if you did something wrong, but now you can't even chastise anybody.
They look at you like you were crazy.
Yeah.
And they all had the magic words for me when I was in school. Hey, if you don't go over there and sit down, I'm gonna call Reverend Hawkins.
Come
Hey,
on.
wait. Let's don't do
That's
anything
all it
rash
took.
here. Let's back up a little bit, because that man is crazy. Okay.
Exactly. And I think the point that I'm trying to make, I think that the history that you bring and what we're learning to talk about, even back from 1910, that these are things that we need to instill and make sure that our younger generation are aware of. Because the words I used to hear when I was in grammar school, when we had one building, when everybody was in one building, is that, what they taught me then, we don't have any of that now to take that legacy on. I mean, the things that we learned then is not there anymore because of, now don't get me wrong, I know that this is 2026 and things have changed, but I don't think the foundation should have changed.
I think the thing that both David and Ms. Wooten are talking about in terms of neighborhoods, that when she said you had the pharmacist and you had
everything,
and David mentioned the club. I want to ask Ms. Wooten if she went, which club she went to, and the school. So you went to school right in your neighborhood. That it really
Everybody was there. If you
Everybody
were
was
the
there.
trash man, if you were the doctor, the lawyer, the plumber, you all lived
Everybody
in
was
the
right
same
there.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I often say, while integration was just super and it helped us in so many ways, one of the things though that it did to us is that she talked about the neighborhoods. We all moved and we all scattered, so we lost that. We lost that.
Exactly.
Just what she just said. That's why I was smiling so when she said that.
Exactly. I mean, with all that you're learning and being the storyteller that you are, Robin, and with the Kukua Institute that you have there for legacy as well, that you're building your legacy to leave behind so that our community won't be totally lost. You understand what I'm saying? Because I think with you and your husband, you do a great thing. I mean, with holding on and keeping the community educated on things that's so important to us.
I think we've just formalized being nosy. that I, and people did it way before we got here. And if they had not shared, David and I are joking about 1910 or 1913, we're probably both wrong because we know David Morris was in the funeral home business before.
Oh, wow.
The father, was it Richard? Richard Morris was their father. Was one of the lighthouse keepers, and so they have this amazing history here, and it may have been the first black lighthouse keeper out at NAS, and the Morrises had businesses on the base as well, a little juke joint out there. And there's some remnants of that too. I'm still gonna ask Ms. Wooten if she went to the nightclub.
She's smiling. Look, Ms. Wooten said that back in the day.
Yeah. She said, "Honey, I can't tell it all."
I can't tell it all. That's right.
My grandmother used to say.
But that sort of legacy is palpable.
Yes.
It is what we are standing on. Wanda, her daughter's in the behind the camera here. Yeah, and so it's what we're standing on because they share these stories and tell these
Exactly.
stories.
And I think it's so important, and I just want to commend you and make sure that you continue to do what you're doing because it is so needed. And for Ms. Wooten, I just love her with a perfect kind of love.
Can you answer that question, Ms.
Have
Wooten?
you-
About the nightclub?
Oh, she didn't forget.
Well, before he mentioned Abe's place,
Yes, ma'am.
it was Singleton's.
Oh,
It was Singleton's on LaRue Street,
Yes, ma'am.
where we went.
as teenagers.
Yes.
Okay.
Now.
And
See
what
that?
did you get at Singleton's?
Well,
Well,
They had that, don't go too deep.
at Singleton's, they had food. It was called the Alligator Inn.
Oh.
They had live alligators.
okay.
You never heard?
No. We had to go to Wingate Beach to see the alligators when I was growing up.
Well, you had live alligators, and we would, and it was a restaurant. He even made his own ice cream.
That's right.
Mm.
That's that good stuff.
So when you talk about marketing, but his name was Ernest Singleton. It was him and his wife. And so he kept alligators as pet in the backyard, in the back of the restaurant. And so he was said to have made started the ice cream sandwich for the ice cream company that he worked for.
Polar?
Polar,
That's
thank you.
it.
Polar. And so he was said to have started the ice cream sandwich with them. And so he had Singleton's ice cream bar, I'm not sure what they called it, but he had the alligators, and he shipped those alligators, he sold those alligators to others.
Probably wearing them.
So he kept David, you need to stop. I mean,
But the story was that if the alligator would get out, that they would call him, and he had different names for them, I understand. And
As
that
a pet?
As a pet, and so the alligators would get out, and he would call them, and they would walk back to
Walk back in?
Singleton's.
come here, John.
Were they alligators big?
Yes, they were large alligators, and they would get out, and believe it or not, most of the time they would come around on Belmont Street.
Oh.
And
The alligator?
one got under our house.
Oh my! Oh my!
I love it.
And he came around and got him.
And got it.
Really? Was there any story that anybody got bit by the alligator?
I don't think so.
Thank you, Jesus.
But it's only in America, baby.
I mean, but then this person here is also the creator of the ice cream sandwich?
Well, it is said for Polar ice cream. Now, I wouldn't say nationwide.
Okay.
I don't know that. But when he died, I believe in 1954, he was looking. They were looking for a company or someone to run the store.
Right.
And they found a family, a Singleton family out of Alabama. I think there may have been some distant relation, but they ended up. So it kept the name Singleton's Ice Cream.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but they
You
never-
see what
they
we're
never
learning?
had children.
I mean, this
Yeah,
is
that's-
great.
This is news to me. I thought I knew something.
Yeah.
This
I
is
mean, but
awesome.
Right on the road between Coyle and DeViller Street.
That's right.
Yeah, between Coyle and DeViller Street.
Unbelievable. I mean, but it's so many things. I see you got pictures here. I mean,
This is what she
She
lived
was talking
and saw.
about.
And that was that picture of David
there
was
it
talking
is.
about.
There it is with the
Yeah.
car. Oh, it's black. They're old cars.
Yeah. Yeah. More.
That is beautiful. I wish we could. I wish people could see that. We gotta bring pictures next time so we can put them on the screen. You know, so they can see that. Because of the fact that even they're parked the same way in that angle.
Yeah.
That was branding, like the alligators. That was branding.
Matter of fact, I've taken that picture and gone one step further. I have it as an artist come in and do a sketching for me, and it's on my wall in the chapel. So it's, I'm very proud of that.
So that was around 1938, I think.
You
this
ain't gonna
picture
get me
was
caught up on a year again. Just learn my lesson. You know, and the ironic part is, I paid her because I paid her to do some research for us and some marketing. I paid her to come back and tell me 1913 ain't it.
That's it, because
And I'm getting
1910.
she taking my money. She ain't telling me.
I only want to tell the truth. Pay or no pay, it's all the truth that's going to come out. With
Absolutely.
receipts, David, with receipts.
I mean, but so much has happened, Robin, and with you, all of the stuff that you're finding out, because I mean, you educated me so well the last time when I did not realize that the Cobb Center, that was a black doctor.
Dr. Cobb.
Yeah, Dr. Eli Cobb.
Even with Brown Bard School, I did not realize there were two black ladies. I did not know that. But you see,
Ms. Wooten knew them.
you knew them, those teachers.
She knew of them.
Right.
Yeah, knew of them, not personally. but
Right.
I-
But that's beautiful. But look at the things that just happened right here in Pensacola. That is absolutely amazing. I don't know about you, but when I learn something, it just, a light bulb that goes off causes me to want to go dig and find out more. We're going to have to go and take a break. It's our Black History Break, but with Dr. Gates, whom I love. He is the best historian I've ever seen. I mean, when it comes to storytelling, you all, I would put you two together.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be
Sit
great?
up
Yeah, I'm just sad I don't have the popcorn because I'm enjoying this.
But we're going to take that break, and of course, I want to thank my friends over at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, David. I would like to thank my friends there at AHW Barber Academy, a young man who has taken that school that he can get you your certificate. He has 2 schools now. Yes, 2. That you can get your certificate and become your own boss in 8 months. And he's doing phenomenal work. Thank you for doing what you do and being a part of Sunshine's Corner. We'll be back with more.
The year was 1721, and New England was in the midst of an infectious disease outbreak. A periodic devastating reality in the American colonies. Desperate, colonists turned to a novel method of prevention, a technique invented in Africa and introduced to America by a black man named Onesimus.
Onesimus was an enslaved African in 18th century Boston.
He is given to Cotton Mather as a gift.
Cotton Mather is a famous puritanical minister. He's considered a learned scholar, and among the things he was reading about was medicine. Mather asked Onesimus a lot of questions about things he knew from Africa.
Onesimus told his enslaver about the practice of inoculation against smallpox in West Africa.
A person would get some of the pus in a wound from someone who had a mild case of smallpox and rub it into their own skin and produce a kind of protection. Smallpox was absolutely terrifying to a city like Boston. Every couple of decades there was another outbreak, and in 1721 a very serious epidemic comes into Boston.
When the epidemic breaks out, Mather joins up with this doctor and they test out the practice of inoculation.
That led to a very divided community. A lot of people said, I do not want to be inoculated. I don't trust it.
Some people dismiss it because it's an idea Mather picked up from an African man.
But the trial produced such conclusive evidence that inoculation worked. Onesimus knew what he was talking about. There were all kinds of cures that enslaved people knew about from Africa or the Caribbean that improved the lives of their fellow community members, even those who claimed to own them. The tragedy is their history wasn't written down.
All too often in American history, progress has been introduced by black people, but their life-changing innovations have been marginalized, stolen, co-opted, or forgotten. Little else is known about his life, but through Onesimus, African medicine transformed American medicine.
Fly, didn't she?
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. This is Sunshine's Corner, where we talk about the things that needs to be talked about. I believe that if you want to come up with a better solution, it needs to be talked about. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, that's how you come up with a better solution. And that is what we do here. Now, for the young lady, we got this text message. She says she's 77 years old and visited 506.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of things, and I tell you, thank you for all that. She said, I needed to text, laugh out loud. But she's listening and she's enjoying the show. She didn't say who she was.
Her name is Blanche.
Okay.
She said,
hi, Blanche. Thank you. Thank you so much. And look, now we've got a phone call. Don't let me cut them off, Lord. Let's see. Let's see who we have. And I'll do it again. Good morning.
Good morning, Sonshine. This is Ardelia.
Hello, Ardelia.
Good morning, Ardelia.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am so impressed with Robin Reshard because she wasn't even born in Pensacola, and she knows more about Pensacola than anybody.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's because of these people sitting next to me again
there you go.
that they are sharing that information. Yeah, thank you for that, Ardelia.
I know, but it's amazing how I always learn something from her when I hear her speak. But it's just amazing how so much history is in Pensacola. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't raised on the west side of town, so I don't really know that much about the blocks and all that good stuff. I know about it, but that was one of Mama's rules. You weren't going over there.
Allowed to go. Some of y'all, some people slipped off anyway.
I don't know, Ms. Wooten, but I know she is filled with knowledge. And I often encourage people that have old people in their lives to write their history down.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they pass away, it's gone too.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, she is filled with it, Ardelia. I mean, and to see her, she's just so alert. And I mean, she'll correct you too. I love that she'll smile.
And she can correct all of us because she predates. And how many tell you about 506? She said, child, let me tell you now, before the 506. And I said, Dr. Pokenhall, and he was up right across the street from me. She said, yeah, but he wasn't always there.
That's right.
There you go.
He moved back into his house then, but prior to, his office was over here.
Exactly, exactly, and that's what I'm talking about. But Ardelia, this is what we got to do to continue our history, because we are American history, and we got to continue to share it.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Robert, for knowing all you know and sharing what you know.
That's right.
Well, thank you, Ardelia. I'm grateful and humbled to be one of the vessels, because there are many. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, love.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to have a part in this conversation, I invite you to call 850-432-7768. Or if you prefer, like Blanche, she said, okay, I don't feel like talking, but I'll text. You can do the same thing on that same number. But as we give it back to Robert, because I see she's pulled up something else.
Well, I want to, Ms. Wooten told me this fascinating story again when we were sharing history. She told me, I told her about when we were talking about her uncle, William Bimbo, who was born in Montgomery, and him and his brother, your grandfather,
His
Lawrence.
brother.
Yeah, his
Lawrence
brother
was my father.
was her father's.
Wow.
They came here from Montgomery to, they were recruited here because they had a profession as caners. Furniture caners, so they could masterfully recane chairs and furniture. And
When you say cane, what does that mean?
cane, so you know the plant, the cane, like sugar cane.
The sugar cane,
Like, yeah,
okay.
the plant.
Oh,
But,
when you
know,
peel it.
turning that, yes, and so they're turning that into furniture.
Right.
And caning it. That was a skill, and it was a sought after skill. Those chairs, that furniture still exists today.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
They're
because
very valuable.
very valuable, very valuable. It wasn't manufactured; it was handmade. So, her father, Lawrence Bimbo, and his brother, William Bimbo, came here, and so Lawrence came first, and then was followed by William. Well,
Unbelievable.
and William was also a performer. He became a production manager, a theater owner.
Okay.
And so. So he, and I think I mentioned this to you, but I want to read this. So he appeared with the Mills Brothers, the famous dancers. He brought acts like Ethel Waters to stage.
I remember that
Gets
particular.
better.
That's
Gets
right.
better. He featured band leaders like Duke Ellington.
Wow.
Really?
So this is who is sitting next to me. This, you get her autograph.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
But he was that big. He went to Central and South America, and when he passed in 1950, it says he was the first colored, which was the term for African Americans then. He was the first color promoter to take his own show abroad, touring in Central and South America and then the West Indies.
Wow.
So he went all over the country, even went out to the Northwest, and so he was heavily recruited to perform. Had as many as 25 to 30. One show he had 25 when he came back here to perform, and then the other he had 30.
Oh my goodness.
But she didn't remember meeting him until, will you tell the story about him taking that picture of you?
Well, I was a baby then.
But still the fact that she had it.
Tell it, baby.
And his show was performing at the Belmont Theater, which is between, I think it's Railroad, if they call it Railroad, and what is, must have been Palafox, wasn't it? Yes.
Wow.
Railroad is now Tarragona.
Tarragona Street.
Unbelievable.
And they were performing at that theater, his group, and they would come down to his brother's house, which was on Belmont, you know, between A and Core, during the day when they were not performing.
Damn.
And I was a baby, and my sister must have been about 4 years old, and he took a picture of us.
Oh.
I didn't, you saw the picture, didn't you?
I saw the picture, yes ma'am.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful? I mean, that is it. We got everybody calling. I want to ask a question. We got people on hold.
That's
Look at her and her sister.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
So
Can you turn that around, see if they can get that
I can.
I mean, just put it in front of your camera. But look at that.
You can get that. Which way am I turning?
Okay,
Right
just
there.
where you are.
Right there.
Right there.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Her and her sister. Isn't that great? Let's see who wants to. Good morning.
Good morning, Sonshine. How you doing?
Marvelous.
I wanted to call in because you have this exquisite group of experts sitting on your show as guests today, and I know everybody is really, truly enjoying this show. And you need to continue to do more like this because we love our history. We love learning about our history, knowing about our history. And if there's anybody that can tell it, it's the people that lived it and experienced it.
That's right.
And so you got Miss Wooten on there, and she look amazing. I'm just like staring at her skin. I'm like, look, baby,
Honey, beautiful.
She preserved. She has preserved her beauty.
Oh.
Isn't she
Her beauty
beautiful?
and her outer beauty.
And sharp.
So beautiful. I was just staring at it like I'm like lost in a trance. She's so beautiful. And
Exactly.
I wanted to ask Robin, you know, with her research and the photos that she have, and I was wondering, has she thought about doing like some type of historical exhibit with those photos?
Historical what?
Exhibit.
Yes, we've done several. The last one was an outdoor exhibit we did right here in Belmont de Villiers on the new Savoy. So we did, I think they were 5 by 10. We
Okay.
did Belmont de Villiers by the decade.
Right.
But you can also see photos in the Bunny Club. Michael Allen, we did an exhibit there
Okay.
in the Bunny Club. As David mentioned, in his chapel, you can
Yeah, he
can
got pictures
see
there.
that, yeah, that 1938. Plus, he has pictures of the original owners, the Morris family.
Wow.
You can see, so
History.
a lot of the businesses at Five Sisters,
Uh-huh.
you can see some of the
Oh, God, yeah.
albums
I know.
and
I'm
things like
blown
that.
away every time I go
Yes,
in there.
At Blue Dot, they have paintings, and Byron has, they have kept that legacy going. So I understand in Blue Dot, you couldn't go with a tank top on, or you could, if you were
Barefoot. And if you were pregnant, you couldn't sit on the stools. No pregnant, we have big signs. Pregnant women, no pregnant women sitting on the stool.
Yeah. He still has those signs.
So who you thought you was going to fall down?
He didn't want to take the liability.
Hello, I don't blame
He
you.
didn't get a burger.
And he had a baseball bat that used to sit right over there in that corner.
Oh.
Because Mr. Blue was probably about my height. So, and the guys would come in there, the football players, and they, man, I'll do it. You put that baseball bat up and say, not in you, not in you. You don't do it. And with us,
Exactly.
out.
Wow.
And you learn some manners, you can come back. He was staunch. He was staunch. And Mrs. Blue, by contrast, sweetest little lady you ever want to meet. Reminds me so much of her.
Oh, wow. How beautiful. Well, did we answer your question, Eric? You find this all over town. The exhibits are already there.
But you know, now I want to point to what she just brought out.
I am so happy, and just keep these experts coming so we can keep on enjoying more and more learning about our history.
No doubt about it.
Thank you, Dr. Martin.
Well,
You're welcome, Robin.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Have a great day, love.
What we need to do.
Bye-bye. And we got one more, David. Let's see. I want to keep him on there all day. Good morning.
Good morning, Sonshine.
Well, hello, Mr. Wooten.
Yes, I want to say first hello to Robin and Brother Hawkins, and especially Miss Alvina Wooten.
Yes.
My Wootens, we're from Philadelphia, Mississippi, and my great-grandfather came here in 1841. They had over 2,000 acres of land up there, and they found coal on our land not too long ago. But Miss Alvina, I want to ask you a question. As a child in East St. Louis, Illinois, I attended Crispus Attucks Elementary School and started in 1958, but no one taught us that Crispus Attucks was a black man and what he did in the Revolutionary War. Miss Wooten, you grew up here. As a child, did anyone teach you that Old Christ Church, Fort Barrancas, Fort Pickens was built by slaves in order for them to gain their freedom?
Oh, wow.
I wasn't told that.
No, she wasn't aware of that.
I want to also tell her that my daddy was born on June the 30th in 1926. He'll be 100 years old coming up here real soon. And I'm going to tell him about you. You are You fantastic, Miss Alvina.
Not that she is.
I know you had to eat that good food because you grew it, and that's why you're doing what you're doing.
That's right.
Without the chemicals.
Your garden had to be beautiful, just like you. Just like you. God bless y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Wooten.
And remember, Fort Pickens, Fort Barrancas, and that white church down there in the historical village was built by slaves. Take your children down there and look at how good they built it.
I agree. Thank you so much, Kingdom Welcome.
Thank you all.
Right, bye-bye.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to run, take a break. We'll be right back to give you more history right here, where you can find it only on Sunshine's Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
My name's Kelly McLeod. I'm the owner of Bella Magazine. Bella is a source of uplifting and inspiring content for the women of Pensacola.
I think the magazine is just so thoughtfully done. There's a lot of attention to detail. The stories are really good.
You've got seriousness, you've got fun, education, fashion. It just encompasses everything.
Women are multidimensional, and so is Bella.
From the efficiency of American natural gas and the dependability of nuclear power, to the strength of Florida's sunshine and the flexibility of advanced battery storage systems, we leverage a diverse mix of energy sources to power our growing state, ensuring reliable, low-cost power for your home or business whenever you need it. FPL, working for you every single day.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
And welcome back to this edition of Black History, American History, that we're going to talk about every single day because we live it every day. I want to thank Robin for what she does. And I'll tell you, Miss Alvinia, I'm just in love with you, okay? I mean, it's just, I mean, you are just as sweet as cherry pie. And I mean, just to sit here and to hear you speak on things that were way before, but you have not brought, that you're bringing back, so that we can take this knowledge and do something with it. And by saying that, then David went on to say that he asked you a question, Robert. What was all of this that we're talking about? How are we going to get this out? What can we do with this? How can we?
Yes. The big thing is that Robin's dream for the Belmont and Davila Street area has been for a concept to do a museum, to do something with Black people, our history. And the underlying theme of what we're hearing everybody say here today is, how can we capture this moment? How can we keep it? And how can we make sure that everybody, our younger people, understand that they know who we are and where we came from?
Exactly.
A museum gives us the opportunity to do that.
That's right.
And I wanted to ask her and put her on the spot a little bit, how we're coming with the project.
It's back to that 1910.
Well, as a community, I can't say what everybody else will do, but what I'm more than willing to do is to do my part to try and help you, help us get it going. And, we need to come up with a plan.
Exactly.
To do it.
We were stalled. Great effort before the pandemic, and then we were stalled, and we continued working, but didn't continue working on the building as such. And so that's on us. And so we definitely need to re-engage because we're in the first Greek church in the city now, but that building has limitations. It's amazing And so the museum that he's talking about is a building we have on Coyle Street,
Right.
that can further expand the work that we do in the Institute.
Well, that's what we need to do. We're down to 2 minutes. Can you believe it?
Wow.
I can't believe the hour has gone by so quickly. But what I want to say is, and I want to reiterate this. First of all, I want to say thank you for Miss Alvinia for taking your time to come in to share history. To let history be seen.
Oh, yeah.
Because she lived it.
That's right.
She lived this. You are looking at beautiful American Black history in the flesh.
That's awesome.
I cannot thank you enough. Because you see, even though, and I'm very transparent, there's something that cannot be taken away from us. You may say you want to take away a book. You may say you want to remove this from a calendar, but we are Black history.
Thank you.
We are American history.
Right.
And we're showing it to you. We're keeping it alive. Keeping it alive. And as long as I have a mouth to talk about it, I shall. Because this is what we need to do for our younger generation. I want to encourage you, please, visit the Kukua Institute. It's there for a reason. I believe that everything happened for such a time as it is. God has a plan. It may not come in the time that we want it to, but you know it's always right on time. So therefore, the things that even David is saying that he would like to have for us to continue, that museum shall be. We shall continue. Speak those things that are not as though they already were. It shall be. And I want to say to you, find ways to educate yourself. Find ways to continue to educate those who are lesser of. We cannot know where we're going if we don't know where we totally come from. You cannot make it there successfully if you don't know your past.
And you can just encourage, especially people who are older.
Yes.
I'm 25.
I'm 26.
Okay.
Oh, both of y'all.
Is to, as we age, to share those stories with our younger generation, with our descendants. Just as Miss Wooten.
30 seconds.
Ms. Wooten leaves nothing off the table.
I agree.
And she doesn't take anything away from anyone else. She adds to. And I think that's for our elders. I think she's a great example to do that.
We should do. Yes. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to get out of here. I tell you, we've got to have a continuation of this because I think that not just in February, we're going to do it all over again. I've got to leave you, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll leave you as I do every single day. Never, ever, ever, ever lose your focus. Always remember one thing. If you keep God first in your life, I guarantee you, you're going to be a total success. So until tomorrow for another day of sunshine and nothing but knowledge. Knowledge is power. So until then, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. And I love you, Miss Wooten, with a perfect kind of love.
Amen. Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.